Today's topic involves
this thing right here.
This thing right here.
Hello everyone, welcome back to those of you who have been here. Welcome for the first time to those of you who are new.
Yes.
We are the Alexanders.
Welcome, welcome. It's been a while, but we're back in full effect.
It's been a little time.
Yeah,
but thank you for those of us who have been patient with us as life has been lifing. But we definitely still want to get in front of you all and talk about some things that are near and dear to our heart, things that we've been discussing with other friends and people, and just kind of have an open discussion. So we used to have the couch conversations and we started that. So everything is going to pretty much follow that format for this season.
Yeah.
It's going to be, we're talking about whatever the topic is at hand.
Right.
So today's
topic involves
this thing right here.
This thing right here.
We all have one.
These days, everybody got one.
We all have one, we all know. And so pretty much the question that we're asking is, am I really addicted to my phone? And kind of how to have healthy boundaries and how to not be so distracted by our phones.
Yeah. In
an age where there's a lot of phone involvement. So this kind of topic came from kind of something that we're walking through right now, currently in our marriage, and even just in life, and having to combat like the distraction. So there's different ways this kind of shows up. There's the distraction of I'm on social media, I'm seeing stuff on my phone, now I'm comparing my life to someone else's life. Then there's also just the physical distraction of, because I'm so, engulfed by my phone, I'm not present in my actual moment. So if we're going out and we're on date night, we try to be mindful of, okay, let's not be on our phones. Or if we're, out of town for a friend's wedding, let's not be so engulfed in our phones that we miss the moment that we're in. So that's kind of what spirit off this conversation about, am I really addicted to mine? Yeah,
and in all honesty and transparency, we just been, like she was saying, in a season of really trying to figure out for us, what's healthy, like she was saying, and just, when to cut these things off, so that it doesn't distract us from one another. It doesn't distract us from the things God's calling us to, and just get so wrapped up in everything that's going on around us and in the world. We miss, things right in front of us because we're always in this phone, yeah, we wanted to just come, like she said, and just have a discussion about it and, see how y'all feel about it and share what we feel and what we've been learning, about it pretty much.
Yeah, so there's a couple things. I feel like one thing that the Lord revealed to me the other day that is a helpful tool, and it might be helpful for you if you are feeling like, hey, you know what, I'm really kind of a little too attached to my phone, or maybe you've even experienced some anxiety on your phone or away from your phone, is that to use your phone for communication, not exploration. And I thought that was really good, because I'm like, man, that's true. Our phones are typically, supposed to be for communication, but they've become a source of many other things. And not that these things are bad, but if we're in a space where there's anxiety, you're experiencing depression, you're experiencing, moments where you comparison, exactly. You can't get away from your phone, or you really feel like you need it. It's a little more healthy than you know it should be. It might be good to have maybe a couple days or a couple hours where I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna use my phone for exploration. I'm gonna use it for communication only. So if I'm texting or having a conversation, with a friend or family or whatnot, then I'm using my phone for that. But maybe today I don't use it to scroll through social. Maybe today I don't use it to go on Amazon and build a fake cart that I wish was real. Maybe we don't do that. Maybe we're just having some days banked in there just to use it for, communication. And that's a good, healthy boundary to kind of set.
Yeah, I think that's super good. I mean, even other tools, kind of what we've seen and just been working through. I know for myself, I sometimes just don't even notice that I'm just holding the phone and scrolling through the phone and just doing stuff on my phone. So I was telling her, like, hey, before, when we wake up in the morning, making sure we're not touching our phone first. For us, we like to get in the Word. So actually having a physical Bible there to get in the Word, because it's easy to pick up the phone, get in the phone, and then be distracted with, I want to check the bills, I want to check my bank account, or I want to check this notification that I got from last night, or this text message, what happened with the game, my fantasy, I want to do all these different things. But before I even spend time, with my wife, you know, in the word, praying together,
Yeah.
you know, intentional, just talking to each other in the morning and developing, you know, healthy habits for ourselves. And even at nighttime, you know, because in the word, God tells us to meditate on the word morning and night, you know, but if we're filling so much of our days with our phones, we're missing those opportunities and moments, you know, when the Lord can really be speaking to us. So even at nighttime, for me, I was telling her, and throughout the day, if I'm home, I'm gonna just start leaving my phone in the other room. You know, so that I can be present with what's going on around me, because a lot of times, like I said, even, you know, without even just noticing, I'm just sitting up and on the phone and just spending minutes and hours and just like, hey, what's going on around me, around the world, you know, and really not missing nothing. You know?
No, you're really not missing anything. And it's not about being absent, it's just about being present where you are.
Right.
You know, I think that there is a balance, but I think, you know, at least for us, we can say it's been very unbalanced most times, and you do end up missing the current moment or parts of it, and you're not as present as you could be, and the moment's gonna be gone.
Yeah,
you know, moments are here for a second.
I'm a testament of that. You know, we was hanging with some friends recently, and football was on. It was college football, and I'm over there trying to look at all the scores and all the games, and you know, everybody's talking, mingling, having fun, and I'm in my phone and not even being conscious of like, hey, you know, God's gifted you, you know, with communicating and talking to people and interacting and connecting, you know, right now you being distracted and not having that moment because, you know, your phone. So
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, so there's that aspect too. So you can ask yourself, hey, you know, maybe you challenge yourself to have a boundary, you know, off of social media at certain hours, or maybe you challenge yourself to leave your phone in the other room when you're going to bed, have your paper Bible and journal there so you can kind of have some quiet time apart from your device. If those things are hard, it may be, you know, an area for healing, maybe some room for growth right there. And like, this ain't no shame, we're talking about it because we're going through it and trying to figure it out and try to understand, okay, we can't miss all of life, so what do we need to do? You know, so there's that aspect. And then there's also the comparison aspect, I think, just because of social media. And it doesn't even have to just be just social media, it's just media. You know, now it's so, everything is so in your face, and so you're seeing there are a lot of ways you can compare your life to others, even if you don't intend to, or feel like you're missing out on things. And so it's important to have kind of some type of heart guards up in terms of what you're looking at, how often you're looking at it. You know, if you kind of feel a little bit, because I remember I used to experience it, especially before we got back on social. I would leave Instagram feeling down. Like I would maybe get on, when I get on, I'm fine. When I get on Insta, or when I get on whatever I'm on, I'll feel fine, or YouTube or whatever. And by the time I get off of it, I'm just feeling a little worse. You know, sometimes it was real sad. Sometimes it was just like a little bit of like a cloud, you know. But that's, you know, evidence of, okay, something's happening when I go on here that's unhealthy. You know, am I having an unhealthy view of myself? More than likely it's comparison. More than likely it's I feel like I'm missing something or missing out on something, or I have these things. And so if you're also experiencing that, it's okay, because there's areas to grow through that. And I think that's where the boundaries come in to help us. Because I will say, for that long time that we weren't on social, there was a lot more clarity and a lot less comparison that I feel like I was feeling, versus now. And I know God has called us back, and I'm excited and I'm grateful, but there's still that battle that has to be fought of like, okay, you know, you can't overconsume this content or overconsume this space, because it's easy. It's just, even if we don't intend to, it's easy to kind of start feeling like, why don't I do X, Y, and Z, or have these things or whatever. You know?
And even, that's good, babe. Even to the conversation and aspect, you know, of that thought, we have to figure out for us, you know, what tools work, because we're kind of two different people. I'm the type, I gotta cut it off, like like God said in His Word, you know, if something causes your eye to sin, you cut it out. So for me, that was the idea, like, hey, I gotta leave the phone somewhere. For her, you know, it might be, hey, I'm setting boundaries for my screen time, so I can check my screen time to see, like, hey, or deleting the app. You know, actually deleting the apps. I'm like, hey, I'm not going to be on this app at this certain time of the day. You know, like after this time, I'm done with apps, so I'm shutting my apps down. You know, certain things like that to just help you. And even other ways to help you is kind of have accountability. You know, have somebody, you know, in your pocket. Thank God I got an accountability partner, you know, who is able to be like, hey, babe, 9 o'clock. You know, we're not on the phones after 9. Cool, you know, or just having somebody to help you see, like, hey, you know, make sure you're sticking to it. Fasting, you know, whatever dynamic of what you need to just really help you, you know, get from being distracted, you know, by your phone and just taking and consuming, you know, all your time. It's really a game changer.
No, it is. And those patterns will break. Like at first it's really hard, but if you like anything, like a habit, if you stick with it consistently, you may not do it perfectly, but after some time, you just lose a desire as strong for it. Like I still like to be on social, I like all that stuff, you know. Some days it's real strong, but it's nowhere near as strong as it was when I first got on Instagram or, you know, a while ago. Just because over time, after you know, have those boundaries in place, you begin to desire different things. I like to do things that aren't necessarily fun. I like to play my bass. I like to write. I like to dream and plan and, you know, write things down and this, whatever. I like to meet friends for coffee and all that type of stuff like that. So you begin to realize that there's so much more life outside of that phone. And not that you can't use it. We should be using our phones and stewarding them when they're great tools. Believe you me, great tools. But there is a difference in misuse and abuse of a tool versus a healthy way that we can use it, and that make sure that we're using it in a way that it serves us, not us serving it.
Idol.
Yeah.
You don't want those things to become idols. And I mean, if we look all around us, technology is changing and transforming the world we live in. You know, but it's easy to miss, you know, those monumental moments and opportunities with people, you know, who you love and care about, you know, and you just want to, you know, spend time with while you're here, you know, because you can be here one moment and then go on to be with the Lord the next, you know. So, you know, just making sure you're taking back the time that God has given you and not letting these phones take it away from you.
Yeah, and using them, when we do use them, use it the right way.
Yeah, it's the right way.
So, it's the right way. It's the right way. So that is all we had. Is there a scripture that you said you wanted to share?
I mean, I ain't got nothing off the top of my head right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have looked at it, but.
Okay. We'll definitely be dropping some scripture here below as well that kind of speaks to this area, just so we all have some anchors to kind of anchor us whether it's hard to just the distraction of the phone when we're supposed to be present in moments, or if we are battling that comparison as well. Any of those two things, we'll drop some scripture down below that we can all meditate on and use to combat these things. But we love you guys so much. It is our desire to be consistent. We have taken some time, taken some good time, but it is our desire to bring these Friday videos back. And so, as always, if there are any ideas you guys have, feel free to drop them below. We have some that God has given us that we're excited to share.
You wanna give them a couple of the upcoming videos? A couple. Okay, apology languages. That's gonna be one. I'm trying to think of the top of my head of the list. What we've learned after 1 year of being homeowners. In our first home. Oh my gosh. Learn a lot.
Oh my gosh, that might be a little long. And there's about like 12.
Yeah, we got a lot of heat. You know, the Lord's been speaking to us, so we want to just share with y'all and hear with y'all.
I'm trying to think of one more like.
God, what wisdom y'all got that can help us too.
Oh yeah, discerning. Is it discernment or bitterness? That's another topic that we'll be talking about. How to figure out, am I being discerning or am I just bitter about something? And so now all of a sudden I'm real sensitive to what someone's doing.
Yeah.
Two different things. But yeah.
Check your heart.
Plenty of fun things. So definitely, if you haven't yet, subscribe. We'd love to have you here on the channel. And we'll see you guys in our next video. Bye.
Love you guys.